Well, welcome back to Spencer FYI, and we're going to talk about the innovation section, or kind of interesting part of the Clay County Fair, and you're the superintendent of that department.
I am. Started in 2015 and we're still at it.
All right, and it's changed names a couple times, wherever, but it's mostly about those folks who kind of like to invent things.
Yeah, we just started out as the Farm Gadget Show, and we realized that it was kind of limiting to the kind of people that could bring things to our place, I guess. And so we met as a committee and decided maybe we could change our name to include, to maybe be more inclusive, I guess. So anyone could contribute something, anything that they have made or adapted to change the use or make it better, or some even little tiny thing that they've put together and want to bring. We've had some really creative things brought into our show.
All right, well, I'll put you on the spot. Like what?
Okay, so one thing I remember from last year was a sweet corn silker, and it was from a man, Gary Meyer, I think, from Esterville, and he had a drill and a piece of PVC pipe and I think some flighting in there of some kind or something. He put the sweet corn on there and run the drill, and it just took the shucks off. I mean, it was incredible. He modeled it for us, and it was really an exhibit that got quite a bit of play last year. People really were intrigued by that one. We've had a spool table turned into a work table, and it'd go like an electrical cable spool table made into a work table. We had chicken coop. A young girl from Jackson, Minnesota, brought in a chicken coop last time. I was going to say last year, but gosh, 2020 was a non-event.
Yeah.
So we had things like that, and some man from, I believe, Melvin, a man from Melvin brought in a sheep chute. Yeah, a sheep chute that he made. Those were some of the, they were big and small things, but I think one of the most creative things that we've had brought in was from a young girl from Milford, Rihanna Swenson, and she made a boot scraper made out of beverage caps, the bottle caps. She lined them all up and on a board, and I mean, it was just, who would think of something like that? And for a young girl to come and put that together and bring that, I just thought that was really a very creative thing. So I mean, big things, little things, made of anything. Really a fun place to gather our creative genius and come together and show what we can do.
Yeah, like you said, the things that maybe make your life a little easier, those are the stuff that you're trying to showcase.
Yeah, or just anything. I mean, we have some, this year we're going to have just some display things. Some people that have made things just for display in the yard. Not that you have to use them for anything. Display, and that also goes into our bucket of junk challenge that we had, that we've been having, I guess. You can make useful things out of any of that, or just yard decorations, or anything that you can find to put together. Just for our all of our categories, I guess, the junk needs to fit into a 5-gallon pail. Put something together, and it can be something useful, or it can be a decoration, or whatever you want it to be, I guess, as long as all the items fit in a 5-gallon bucket.
Okay, and that's for all ages?
It is for all ages, and this year, as we were going to have a couple of years ago already, it seems like to say a couple of years ago, that seems like a long time. But we were going to start, and we will start this year, a new group, a new age bracket for our Bucket of Junk Challenge for kids ages 5 to 7. And their junk needs to fit into a 5-quart ice cream pail.
Okay.
So they can, if it's Legos or any kind of something that they can gather together to make something out of for display. We just think it'd be a fun way to bring the littles into the Clay County Fair and give them a chance to compete, get a little taste of it, and maybe they'll want to do that later on.
So do they need to probably take a picture of that bucket before they start? Is that kind of how you do that?
They do indeed. So we need to have the items kind of laid out so our judges can see what all is in it, in the bucket, and then and look for those things, I guess, when they're in the display itself. So it's just a way to cross-reference, I guess, and make sure the playing field is fair for everyone.
And obviously check out the booklet that's on the website, whatever, and that gives you all those rules.
Yes, it's all on there, laid out pretty well, I think. So we got, you can win $100 if you want. So it's, I mean, for some of these categories, it's really worth your time to bring it in. Even, you know, even if you don't win first place, there's still a pretty decent monetary prize. So we're happy about that, and hopefully we can make other people happy about that as well.
All right. So, and then usually you have something of like, I guess, the gadget. Are you going to have that again this year?
We are, yes, and usually that's been really fun to have. We usually try to gather about a dozen old handheld things, tools, kitchen items, or just old things, and that often aren't used anymore. You know, it's really fun for people to stand in front of that counter, and I'll hear them talk and say, you know, oh, Grandpa used this, or I remember how they used that. It's just a time of, I guess maybe it's not as much competition, but it kind of is, because you can guess the gadget, you know, and win a token prize, I guess. But it's really an avenue for communication between the generations. You know, like I said, Grandpa used this, or Grandma used that, or I, you know, fathers and sons, you know, oh wow, yeah. It's just a fun time to listen to those conversations, to kind of eavesdrop and overhear the fun conversations that people have as they stand there and look at all of those gadgets, I guess, that they're guessing what they are.
Do you need gadgets? Are you always looking for gadgets to put in that
We
show?
always are looking for gadgets. Yes, thank you. If you have something laying around in your garage, your farm shop, you know, anyone from town or anyone from the country can let us know if they've got something that would be good in that case, and we'll surely consider it, because we like to have new things every year if we can. And I think so far every year we have had new things in there. I think every year.
That's pretty cool. So you just contact the fair office or call you, or how do you want them to do
Probably
that?
if it's easier for them to call the fair office, then they can direct them to me. But we're in the phone book, so yeah, you can call us as well if that works.
All right, sounds good. And then kind of probably the big news, we kind of hid the lead a story, I guess, but you're moving. You're not going to be in that. We are
moving.
In that
we have
building.
a new home. And we're actually kind of excited about it. You know, we've been in the ag marketplace in the southwest corner, I guess, of the fairgrounds, and it's been nice to have that outdoor space for our larger exhibits. But you know, they're trying to make that ag row, I guess, down there, so they moved us to a different location in the Fields and Gardens building next to the Chop Shop. So we're really happy to get to that location and still have some nice outdoor space and have more traffic maybe by our building, so more people can see what we're doing, because it's been hard sometimes in years past to get people down there if they don't have a reason to go. And yet we've still had enough traffic there to keep going. So we think this is going to be a really nice place for us to be, for more people to see what we do, and hopefully grow our show.
Sounds great. So if folks want to be a part of your show, what do they need to do? Is there a pre-registration, and how do they get stuff entered?
Yes, they can go online, www.claycountyfair.com, and go to our innovation show and on their competitions, and find us on there and fill out the form, and yeah, and then you're set. Once you're pre-registered on there, then you're set to go. They'll let me know that they're coming. Pre-registrations are nice, because then we kind of know what space we need to display everything nicely. But we surely do take walk-ins. I mean, we're not going to turn anybody away. If you decide at the last minute you want to bring something, yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Bring it on in.
So when do you want those exhibits to show up?
Oh, those exhibits we're going to judge on September 9th, I believe. Yes, September 9th. At 6 o'clock. So from 4 to 6 that day on Thursday, September 9th. So we do our judging all before the fair begins, so people can see how it works. The Guess the Gadget, though, that goes throughout the fair, through the end of the fair, so nobody knows who's won that until the fair is over. But we want to give everyone a fair chance of seeing everything all through the whole entire fair until they close it down on that last Sunday night. We'll gather it all up. So yeah. So if you want to exhibit in the contest, then you would need to have your things in by September 9th, and we'll judge that evening at 6 o'clock. Our committee will get together. We have a group of men who are very adept and skilled at woodworking and welding and manufacturing, I guess. Pretty good group of guys that come in and look at things and decide how they're going to place things.
Okay. It is kind of a fun one to go look at. So even if you're not an inventor or a tinkerer, maybe you get a good idea out of the deal, right?
Well, it's really fun. I really like looking. All the exhibits are fun, big or small. But it's really fun for me to see what the kids bring in, because this is a chance to show off creative genius, or some kind of innovation, which is why we're called the Innovation Show. But it's really fun to see what kids can invent. That girl that brought in that boot scraper, and another young man from Milford, I believe it was her brother, Caden Swenson, that brought in a rabbit show table that he made out of an old grill and put a top on it. I mean, it can be just anything. The sky is the limit here, just like it is for all exhibits at the fair, at any county fair. The sky is the limit. It's just what you want to do. But it's really fun that you can be awarded a cash prize for what you want to bring in. For kids to win $100 or $50, that's big stuff. So we're really happy to be part of that, and we hope to attract more youth as we go, even along with more adults. It's just good to see what we can do.
All right, sounds good. So check out the book out online, and if you have any questions, just give you a call, right?
That's the deal. Sure enough.
Anything else you want to add on your show or the upcoming fair?
I think we've got it. Just let the juices flow, let the creative juices flow. Please bring us what you have. It's really a fun time to just see what we can do, and it's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. Really a fun show. It's just a fun show to be part of.
Great. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming in today.
You're right. Thank you for having me.
So, get your creative juices flowing, and make sure you check out that exhibit at this year's Clay County Fair. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back after this.